Welcome to Ethanol Producer Magazine's top headlines from the past week. I'm your host, Jill Nelson. Before we get started, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Moss Companies. With Moss Companies, the former INEOS Bioenergy 8 million gallon per year cellulosic ethanol plant and 6 megawatt biomass plant are going to auction. Moss Companies specializes in the sale of specialized and renewable assets for private companies, courts, and lenders nationwide. The surplus land and equipment are being offered first via a sealed bid auction process ending on Tuesday, January 8, 2019. If the equipment is not sold as an entirety with the real estate, the equipment will then sell piecemeal via a Times online auction ending on January 15th. Visit ethanolplantauction.com to learn more. The U.S. EPA has released its final rule setting for 2019 renewable blending obligations under the Renewable Fuel Standard. While most in the ethanol industry were happy with the RVOs set by the rule, many expressed disappointment that the EPA did not reallocate volumes associated with small refinery hardship waivers. When compared to the initial proposed rule released last summer, the EPA has increased the RVOs for cellulosic biofuel, advanced biofuel, and total renewable fuel. The implied 15 billion gallon statutory target for conventional biofuels, which is primarily met by corn ethanol, has been maintained. Read more about the obligations on ethanolproducer.com. Draft legislation that aims to sunset the Renewable Fuel Standard and enact a national octane specification is the subject of an upcoming congressional hearing. The House Energy and Commerce's Subcommittee on Environment is scheduled to hold a hearing on the bill December 11th. A 34-page discussion draft of the legislation was released earlier this month by Representatives John Shimkus and Bill Flores. The bill aims to sunset the conventional biofuel requirement for the RFS as of 2023. Volume obligations for cellulosic biofuels, advanced biofuel, and biomass-based diesel would continue through 2032 and be set each year based on production achieved the previous year. Ontario has announced plans to move to an E15 gasoline blend. A recent proposal released by the Ontario government indicates the province could require gasoline to be blended with 15% ethanol as soon as 2025. Growth Energy, the U.S. Grains Council, and Renewable Fuels Association have spoken out in support of Ontario's adoption of E15, stressing that the proposal represents a huge milestone for Canada and the people of Ontario. The E15 proposal is part of a larger Made in Ontario environment plan. A public comment period on the plan is open through January 28th. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more of the ethanol industry's top stories.